Hello there and welcome back to my channel. I'm Vicky as usual. So today we are going to do another jungle theme, as you may have noticed. So I've got some jungle paper which I'm going to use to make a waterfall effect. So I'm going to use a different one for each of the tabs. So I'm going to speed this up because it's very long otherwise. So I've measured how much I want to move to cut off. So I've still got enough space to do all the things that I need to do. And then I have worked out how much of it I need to cut off, how much of it I need to have a waterfall tab on. So now I'm just cutting my paper to size and using my Tombow glue just to glue that down. I have had to use a couple of bits of paper and try and fussy cut the markers because it wasn't quite long enough. Note to self, next time I'll get longer paper. So then I've popped that in and then I just cut off the rest, which is a very scary thought, but you'll love it when you're finished with it. So for the next one, we're going to find a different coloured jungle paper from the jungle paper that I got from Hobbycraft, I believe. It came from Hobbycraft. I had a voucher, so I thought, well, you know, why not? Again, I do need to buy bigger paper next time. Yeah. You learn as you go along. So I'm using the Tombow glue again. The one thing I love about this Tombow glue is that I can buy refills. That's what I'm looking for, refills. God, I really screwed this one up. So I can buy refills for it, so therefore I'm not constantly buying the plastic bit over and over and over again, and it does glue really well. So we've done cut off number 2 as part of our waterfall. So you can see we've got 2 next to each other. So then I need to choose a third paper, and I've decided to use this one. And then I'm going to glue this down. But this piece of paper, we're not cutting any edge off. I've decided to have 3 waterfalls because I need the other pages to be full pages so that I've got the space. So, yes, I'm having 3 waterfalls, and then the rest are just going to carry on as per normal. So for this one, we're literally just putting it up against the edge of the paper to make the 3rd waterfall. And cutting that down to size, and then we have 3 waterfall tabs. So what I'm going to do is, I've already penciled this in just to make life a little bit easier, is I've got my quote for the month, which is, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I found it on Etsy, so I thought, it came from Pinterest originally, and I downloaded the graphic and then decided to do my own slant on the graphic. So I've decided that I'm going to have these 4 jungle animals. So we've got a zebra, a tiger, an elephant and a lion. And then what will happen is that as we move the waterfall sheets, you'll be able to see them poking their heads around the other side. So I thought that might be a bit of fun. See, just like that. And then we've done spending trackers before, so I'm just going to whiz through that, making sure I rub out all the markings. And then I also decided to have a wish list. So therefore, if I find things I want to buy, I can literally wish list them as I go along rather than being spontaneous. And we've got to have some leaves in, so I'm going to glue the leaves in, and then I am going to cut the leaves down the edge so you can still see the animals, and I've worked out what my categories are going to be. So this is a little bit different. I've decided I'm going to have a calendar this time. This is mainly so I can keep an eye on my content, because I want to try and get my content into a very sensible, I'm posting on these days, I am organised, I am brilliant. We'll see how long it lasts. So what I've done is I have these bits of washi tape are actually stickers, but it's online washi tape. So what I've done is I've printed it, and then I've printed it onto a sticker, and then I've cut it down, and then I'm using it as a edging for my calendar pages. So I have put the days of the month at the top, and I've used my dot marker to put the dates in. And then, yeah, I'll just fill it in as I go. So the next page is going to be sort of not a meal planner, because I'm not very good at that. It's a meal tracker. So what I'm doing is I'm using some of this washi tape. I've chopped it really thin this time. And then what will happen is it's a meal tracker. So I just write down what I actually ate. So then I know what I'm enjoying. And then we've got breakfast, lunch, dinner. And then I've decided that I'm going to map what's in my freezer for meals, because that seemed like a very good idea, just because it was just, I have them in there and I just don't think about them again. And then the snacks, because I'm finding that I'm buying more snacks rather than using what I've got. So I've decided this month I'm going to do a monthly habit tracker. So I saw an idea for this on YouTube. So I thought, let's get a compass out. Let's see how hard can this be. It was hard. It was really hard, which is why I have drawn it in pencil before we get to the point where I am talking to you guys. One day I might actually be able to do it so that I can do it in front of you, but at the moment it's like, it was hard. So I'm going to do a specific video on how I did this at some point, because I do think it's a really good way of having an overview of the whole month. Last month I did weekly habit trackers, but I felt like you have to flick through so many weeks to be able to see how it's going. And also this month I kind of wanted to have more monthly pages, so that hopefully, I mean, I always find that I struggle to find time to do the weekly pages. So I kind of wanted to have more monthly pages, so I was still collating the same information, but it wasn't necessarily finding time during a stressful week, especially on the week where I only have one day off, to get chores done and to do my weekly pages. So that's why we've suddenly done a lot of monthly pages, and we're going to have very, very few weekly, if any, weekly pages at all. So I've decided to decorate it using some of the offcuts from the nice paper that I use for my waterfall. It just makes it look a little bit more colourful and a little bit more exciting, and it is interesting trying to fit it into the gap. In the end, I just decided to go with the knife, the crafting knife, on the paper and just not. So I'm going to do that for each of the three dividers. I mean, they're not really dividing anything. They are just there for decoration. But I just think it just looks so pretty to have something a little bit different just every so often. Because, you know, I have a habit of just liking things that are colourful. Obviously, if you're liking what you see, or if you try out any of these things at all, please feel free to comment below or send me a picture on Instagram, because it'd be lovely to see what everybody's up to and see where everyone's creativity lies now that, you know, now that we're doing a lot more drawing. I'm doing a lot more drawing, you know, and I'd love to see your creative artwork. Obviously, if you like what you see, please like and subscribe, and you'll get more information about what I'm doing, and you'll get told about future videos which may be of interest. So I'm also going to colour it in, because we all know that I love colouring, and I like to have bright and colourful things to fill out. That's why I've gone down with the jungle theme. I've gone down the die cuts of the leaves, which I did on my Cricut. I think I might have just about done enough, otherwise I may end up having to do some more for next month. But I might show you guys how I do that at some point. I think these leaves were done in a little bit of a rush last month just to get things going. But the idea is to be more organised. We go forth, we be more organised, and we do more and get it done within the time frame. That's the idea of trying to condense how many weekly pages I do in relation to monthly pages, because at the end of the day, however bullet journaling goes, you've kind of got to do it the way that it works best for you. There's no point in having all these weekly pages if you're just filling them in and nothing's happening. I mean, I got to the point where I was filling them in almost retrospectively. So therefore, they really weren't working as they should. So back to habit trackers. I think this habit tracker is quite beautiful. I'm going to be colouring it in as I go. The idea is that the number of boxes is how many times I should be doing things across the month. So what I'll do is I'll colour the boxes as and when I complete the task. It does tell you also on the first ring after the safari paper how often something happens. And then I've done them all at different levels just because that just makes it a little bit more exciting. But it will tell you how often I need to do something, whether it's a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, daily. And then it'll have enough boxes so that literally you can colour it in as we go. Which, you know, is a good bit of fun. And I do like to do a little bit of journaling stroke colouring before I go to bed at night when I read my book. It does mean that I get an opportunity to just reflect on the day, and a little bit of colouring works really well for me, which is why I didn't want to take away the weekly pages completely. I mean, I also found that it was actually giving me information about how often I was doing things, but I know that I still need it, but I don't think I have the time with the phase of life that I'm in to be able to do the weekly pages and do them justice. And, you know, things change, and maybe one day it will change and I'll go back to weekly pages. But at the moment, I'm just going to test this and see how it goes, because the last book was all weekly pages. And then I thought this time I'm going to do something a little bit different and see how it goes. The payday to payday thing seems to be working at the moment, which is great. But we'll wait till the end of the actual quarter to see whether it's at, or the end of the notebook, and see how well it's actually doing. So I've coloured in all these boxes. Obviously I don't colour in any other boxes because we're not actually starting this until next week. Well, I think next week is when I'm doing it. You're seeing it the day I start it. So on the left hand side I've got Habit Tracker, and then on the right hand side I've decided that I want to have I want to do self-care bingo, but it's monthly self-care bingo. So there's probably someone in the audience that's going, oh my god, that's a lot of boxes. But the reason that there's a lot of boxes is because it's going to be across a whole month. And then I can then see exactly how well I'm doing. And I did enjoy colouring in the boxes, so I kind of don't want to take that away. Because I found it quite soothing on, you know, as I say, at the end of the day, you know, get ready for bed, read my book, do my little bit of colouring in my journal and things like that. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. But at the moment, I think it's giving me more information, and I'm doing it as I go along rather than retrospectively. Last month my weekly pages were, some of them were done on the last day, and that's not quite the point of doing them. So I decided, you know what, let's change this up. Why not? So this is going to be a header, these green boxes. It's going to say Habit Tracker, but I'm going to let the pens dry a little bit before we go any further. And then I'm also going to do a header for the self-care bingo as well. That can be drying while I'm writing in all my self-care bingo. It is counted out, that's why it's taking me a while to do a very short line. Because I'm counting it as I go. But because it's a length debate on whether how long the words are. So I'm doing that one, that can dry while I am then writing my things in my boxes and drawing the boxes, because the boxes are still in pencil and I want to put them in my fine liner. So back to self-care bingo. This was something that a really good friend of mine told me about. I mean, I looked at it before, but he kind of made it real. I mean, I saw a lot of self-care bingo on like Pinterest and on Google, and it didn't really link to what I was doing. Didn't really, you know, I was looking at it going, oh, it's just adding more things to do in my life. And it was only when they said, no, you just put what you want to do, what makes you feel better. And obviously I've honed this in over the last few months because, you know, I've had to. It's like, what is important to me? Which, you know, everyone's got to work out in their life what is important to them. There's no point in turning around and saying, oh, well, I'm going to go for a really long walk every single day. But there's a stress of sorting it out. There's a stress of getting there. There's a stress of time. And to be honest, it hasn't really, if it's causing that much of a hoo-ha, it's not really doing what it says on the tin. So it's not really calming. So it's all about what phase of the life you're in, how you're doing it, how you want to live your life. I mean, the same friend said, you know, it's not about changing, it's about inventing yourself. So we're now inventing ourselves. We're giving it a damn good go. But, and one of the ways of doing this is through self-care bingo. So I'm finding that a lot of my self-care bingo is things like going to choir, making sure I go to the cinema, because they're things that I enjoy doing with my friends. And then there are other things like my cross-stitching and my crochet and my knitting, because all of those things are important to me as well. But it's finding time to get those done. And then every time I get them done, I can colour in a box as well. So then I feel like I've achieved. And then halfway through the month, I can look at it and go, you know what, I haven't really done a lot of that this month. You've done a lot of reading, but not done a lot of crocheting or cross-stitching. So I am going to focus on that for the next half of the month. So it's a really good way of seeing how far you've got and what you've done. So for this one, I've got out my printable washi tape again. I'm starting to really love printable washi tape. It's becoming an addiction. There's a person on Etsy that does them. I will link them below because I've downloaded one, which is the jungly one. But then I've also gone through and I've also popped in my basket all the ones that I might need for the next 2 or 3 plans that I have for my journals. I've not bought them yet. I've got to behave myself. It's got to be sensible. But it's good to know that is sort of there, because some washi tapes can be really expensive. And the fact that I've already got the stickers, I can print at work. So I haven't got to keep a printer going at home. I just find that it's really easy. But I'm obviously going to try and... I obviously need to use up my washi tape collection, and I do want to use it up, and I do want to use it, but it's a case of just having the right thing for the right time, and we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try and start planning my layouts in relation to what I have in my washi tape and pen storage, just purely because I want to start using up what I've got rather than keep rebuying or buying more. It's really important to me on the decluttering process now to declutter books, pens, and that's not necessarily by binning them or getting rid of them, that's by using them up. So the die cut leaves are making another appearance, so I decided that on my habit tracker page I do want to have some leaves. Just, it wasn't colourful enough, we've got to go nuts, got to go mad. That's all. The only way to fly is to just decorate and to your heart's content. This has also given me a really good opportunity to sit and think about what I might want to put in all those 11 billion boxes that I have waiting for me on Self-Care Bingo. I've got some ideas, but not. I don't know if I've got that many ideas just yet. So this is almost like a holding, gives me an opportunity to think, gives me an opportunity to I think better when I'm doing stuff. So it's giving me that opportunity. So I'm just going to stick some leaves on this. And then I will go and fill in all those boxes when I've worked out quite what I want to do with them. Okay, so now I'm going to write Habit Tracker and I'm going to do my Self-Care Bingo. So I've written Self-Care Bingo over the top, and then I have filled in all the boxes. So some of them are things that I do need to do, like editing videos that I do enjoy, but I do need a little bit of a push. My weekly reset, so I sort that out on a Sunday, and my planning. So what I'm going to do is I want to paint the background of this orange like I did at the beginning of my journal. So I'm just going to paint that, and then I'm putting a bit of paper underneath, the rough paper that shows you what was on my habit tracker. And then we now just need to go and wait for that to actually dry. Once it's dry, I'm going to colour in the lettering. I've decided to go with the green palette again. Some of them I do like, some of them I don't. So I thought, oh no, we'll just use this instead. There will be a blog post on my website linking to this that shows all the things that I've used as I've gone along and where you can get them. Some of them will only be UK only, but I can see if I can find them on Amazon or something. But yeah, I'll try and link as many of the different things that I have got below as I can. So I'm going to colour in the words, and then I'm going to colour in all the animals. Let's move it in a bit so you can see what's actually going on. So yeah, it's just bubble writing this month. We've kind of taken it quite simple, and I've decided that in August all of the letters are going to be a different shade of green. As I have that many green pens. Who knew? Who knew I had that many green pens? And now I'm going to start colouring in the animals. So I've realised at this point that the zebra needs to be white, and I've painted it orange. So that'll be an interesting concept. But I do have a white, I've either got Tipp-Ex or a white pen. So I think it'll be interesting to see whether the white pen withstands the painting over the paint. I will be very impressed if it does. And that's not me being horrible. I just will be, you know, I've tested loads of white pens. And if I found one that actually does what it needs to do, I will be ecstatic. Because I finally found the fine liner that I like. And I may have just about, hopefully, fingers crossed, found the white pen that I actually like. I'm going to colour in absolutely everything else first. And then I'm going to try... Well, actually, then I've got to find all the line colours. So I've had to go and find the rest of my pens. I only had green pens in my pencil case ongoing. Didn't think about the rest. Okay, so we're going to test out the correction fluid. It's not looking good. I can't get it out of the pen. Yeah. No. So I'm going to go and find my white pen and we'll just see, you know, you never know what might happen. Oh my God. I was so impressed. So impressed. It's over paint. It's over watercolour paint. I'm very impressed. I just, you know, that's made my day, to be honest, because I was thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have an orange zebra. Who has an orange zebra? But no, we're all good. It looks beautiful. And then I'm going to stick some leaves on the August side because it looks a bit dull in my line. I look at it and think, oh my God, no, it needs some leaves. It needs some leaves. You know, what are we going to do without leaves? What am I going to do next quarter when I need something else? It's like, what? I mean, I have started planning the next quarter, but it's like, what am I going to do if I don't? I'm not going to have leaves. It's not going to be leaves at all. But I'm not going to spoil it. But I'm going to need something else to stick over my pages because it's like it's a thing now. It's a started off thing, and it just looks beautiful, and I'm really enjoying it. So you know, just keep going as we go. As I said, if you like what you see, please feel free to like, subscribe, and comment. Yeah, and I will look forward to seeing you on the next one.